Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gundor Smith, and today I'm going to bring you guys another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. Now this one is actually the third part in the War of the Dwarves versus Elves. So because the last one was actually a siege with the Elves defending Thranduil's Halls, this one is a siege with the Dwarves defending Moria. This one was actually a 3 versus 4. I'm commanding one of the Dwarven armies. My two allies are Axiomatic and Declan Gardener, who I believe has some troops down... actually, I don't know where his troops are now. They used to be there. And then the 4 Elven players are Koos, Reprise, Dark Elven King, and Ithilden. I'm actually not going to be able to go over the army comps of the Dwarves, actually, because they were just so mixed and matched throughout the whole battle. It was actually really hard to figure out who had what and where it was. So I'm just going to kind of give you what the general unit was and kind of what I remembered having exactly. So, because this battle actually was a decently long time ago. So, Axiomatic has his general up here in a unit of the Mithril Guard. You can see him right over there. Declan Gardener has his general in a unit of the Dragon Slayers of Arid Mithrim over here in the very town center. And I have my general in a unit of the Blacklock Engineers. I was actually very surprised there was actually only the one unit of Mithril Guard throughout this whole battle. However, for the rest of the Dwarven army comps, you can just expect three pretty standard Dwarven armies. Lots of crossbows you can see right here, some pikes, some Khazad warriors, Ironfoot warriors, Khazad sentries, Ironfoot halberds, Sons of the Fallen, just the like. I believe I actually had like 5 units of Ironfoot warriors just because I like them because they're very, very cost effective. However, I was actually able to pretty much get mostly the exact army compositions of the Elven players. So to start off, I'll go over the army composition of Koos, who is playing as the Woodland Realms. He has 2 units of Forest Bladesmen, 4 units of Hiri Dirith, 2 units of Elder Royal Guard, 1 unit of Elder Council, which is of course the Javelin unit, 2 units of Hiri Lang, 1 unit of the very fearsome Elder Palace Guard, backed up by 1 unit of the Elder Royal Council, who are also very, very deadly. Also, just I don't know if there's any Woodland Patrol here, but I'm pretty sure that at least a few of the armies do have hidden Sindar Blade Masters, so just be aware of that. One of the 2 High Elven armies is being commanded by Reprise, who has 1 unit of Sword Quindi, 2 units of Mithlond Nobles, 2 units of Imladra Stormguard, 3 units of Elrenway Swordsmen, 3 units of Elrenway Spearmen, 2 units of Noratino Warriors, 1 unit of Elrenway Archers, 1 unit of Smiths of Eregion, which is where his general is, and 1 catapult. So that is the 2 attackers over on this side. The 2 attackers over here are Dark Elven King, commanding the 2nd army of the High Elves, and Ithilden, who is commanding the only army of Lothlorien, and unfortunately he did have to deploy kind of up here because of just how it worked out. So Dark Elven King has 1 unit of the incredibly expensive Nolder Elder Nobles, that's where his general is, 3 units of Sword Quindi, 2 units of an extremely good pike unit in the game. However, they are very expensive. I believe they're like 1,400 florins each. However, you can get 2 of them before the price increase. He has 2 units of the Imladra Scars, 3 units of Elrenway Swordsmen, 1 unit of Phallus Lords back here, that's right, 1 unit of the Smiths of Eregion down on that end, and 2 units of Elrenway Archers. So pretty small army, but then again, he probably does have a few units of Sindar Blade Masters who are hidden. And then the last army is over here. As I already said, it is Ithilden commanding the army of Lothlorien. He has a 1 unit of the Galadrim Veteran Warriors, 1 unit of Sylvan Heavy Archers, 4 units of Sylvan Axemen, a very cost-effective AP unit, 2 units of Sylvan Silver Spears, very similar to the Sylvan Axemen, however, they do have a spear, obviously. 2 units of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, 1 of them actually is where his general is, you can see him right there, and I believe he also has a 1 unit of Sylvan unit of Sylvan Spearmen, 1 unit of Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, and he probably does have some hidden units too, because this is a relatively small army. Not quite as small as Dark Elven Kings, but still pretty small. So without any further ado, we'll go ahead and start it off. Oh, and I will actually say right away, the attack over here with Lothlorien and Dark Elven King does kind of progress somewhat slowly because both of them actually did forget a ram or a catapult. So the only way they could get inside was because I brought out one of my units of Ironfoot Warriors right here, which kind of opened up the gate, which allowed the Elven players to get inside. Because obviously I didn't want to just not let them get inside at all, because that would not be any fun. So yes, a lot of crossbows. I really do not envy the elves in this battle having to march into Moria. Probably the most choke pointy map besides maybe Rivendell at the moment. So yeah, I really would not want to be the elves right now, having to face all these dwarves with crossbows and stuff. I actually also believe that I am the only person on my team with a catapult or artillery of any kind. But yes, definitely the fight over here starts off the fastest because they did actually bring rams. You can see Declan Gardener bring forward some Ironfoot halberds. And then over here we just kind of have a half of a box formation. Sons of the Fallen and Khazad sentries. backed up by some Ironfoot Halberds of Declan Gardeners, and I think I also have maybe a unit of Ironfoot Pikemen somewhere around here. Yes, they're up there. Because I did not want to give up these front gate too easily. However, both of these gates we did want the elves to kind of come in a little ways because that would allow us to get our crossbows and artillery working pretty much right away. We'll go ahead and take a look over here. The elves' point of view. Yeah, some Heridirth and Forest Bladesmen. I really do like the Forest Bladesmen. They're very cost effective. They have like 18 attack and 30 something defense. So, and they're relatively cheap, which is definitely something that is not too common with most Elven armies. Outer Council are of course also very good. Ah, there we go. There's 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters coming into view right now. And it looks like, yes, Reprise is marching forward most of his army as well. Mythalond Nobles looking very nice in their gold-ish uniforms. Armor. Not uniforms, I'm sorry. I really do like the Imlad Stormguard. I love how they look. They look incredible. However, they're not super great, to be honest with you. I don't know why. They have relatively high attack and defense values. They just really aren't that good for whatever reason whenever I use them. Although I don't really play as the High Elves very often. Sword Quendi moving in first. Looks like there was maybe half of a volley from these Elder Council before marching forward troops. Yeah, so the Sword Quendi will actually not do too terrible against these Ironfoot Pikemen. However, the Ironfoot Pikemen probably would prevail in the long run. There's also some Forest Bladesmen being marched forward as well. I'm actually going to pause this just for a second because I think this is a little too loud. Just ask me, or just tell me in the comments if the actual effects are too loud for you when you're actually watching it. Yeah, so actually, even with the combined forces of these Forest Bladesmen and Sword Quendi, the Ironfoot Pikemen would be able to hold pretty long. However, Koos was doing a very nice job of using his Forest Bladesmen to get around the flank of my pikemen, which definitely caused a lot of casualties for my poor dwarves. However, you can see that Declan Gardener is bringing forward a unit of halberds. I believe he has a couple units of halberds. Yes, these oh, javelin volley actually right there. But yeah, you can see the Forest Bladesmen still marching around this flank right here. So Declan Gardener is trying to stop them, but they are being his Ironfoot Halberds are being skirmished down by those Elder Council or Royal Council. Yeah, Elder Council. Sorry. You can see his Ironfoot Halberds are really taking heavy casualties from those javelins. Oh, actually a javelin volleyed right at those Ironfoot warriors as well. However, because they are shielded, they should last a little bit better. I don't know. They still lost about like 20 right there. Oh, just deadly javelin volleys right there into the Ironfoot warriors, who, because he doesn't want them to just sit there and get javelin to death, he is going to commit them. However, it might be a little too late to be incredibly effective. I mean, even 95 dwarves will still get a lot of work done, but that is definitely not something that you want to happen early in a siege battle. My pikemen are still at 87, starting to take a few more casualties, but after these halberds and Ironfoot warriors were able to stop the flank, they were able to kind of set up and get a little bit better of a defensive position. So yeah, definitely very cool. Oh, and also, before we get any further into this battle, I would actually like to ask you, so I do actually have a very cool replay. It's a 3 versus 5 Siege of Dale. 3 Dalish armies versus 5 armies of the Misty Mountains. However, I'm not too sure actually if I want to upload it, just because it's not very close. I'm obviously not going to tell who wins, like who wins by a lot or whatever, but in case I do upload it. But I just would like your guys' opinion if you think I should upload it or not. Just because it is, the winner still had like 34% of their troops left, which is pretty insane. Anyway, you can see another unit of Forest Bladesmen marching forward around the flank again, and you can actually see some Mythalon nobles as well as some crossbow fire being fired, I believe, by Declan Gardener. He had like 3 units of crossbows right there, so I would not be surprised if it was him. You can also see another unit of no, I thought it was Ironfoot halberds, but no, it's just a unit of Khazad sentries of mine, as well as a unit of Ironfoot warriors that it looks like I'm actually pulling out. Yeah, actually, it's one of my crossbow units as well as Declan Gardener's, yes. So, a lot of crossbows right here. I believe 4 units of crossbows. We're, right away, we're going to try to target these Elder Royal Guard before they're able to take out any of our pikemen or crossbows. because we're going to really have to rely on our crossbows here if we want to win this. Yes, I actually decided to pull back my Ironfoot Warriors because we were actually holding somewhat well right here. Especially because I had brought forward the unit of Khazad of the Centuries to stop this flank. I decided to run away that unit of Ironfoot Warriors. Ooh, you can see my Ironfoot Pikemen are starting to drop very quickly again because of this flank, as well because of the presence of these rather higher tier Mithlond nobles. You can actually see some Hiri Dirth marching forward, as well as some Nortino warriors. The Elder Royal Guard have taken one volley from the crossbows, looks like. Oh, here comes another. But haven't taken too many losses yet, so that's good for the Elven players. Also, I do have my catapult over on this end, so hopefully I will be able to get that working somewhat soon. Well, firing, not working. It was working fine. You'll see some pretty good catapult hits relatively soon. Oh, here we go. Oh, a lot of friendly fire there, but the second hit was this. Oh my goodness, yeah, that was a ton of friendly fire right there. But this other hit was actually very nice because it took out a lot of Hiri Dirth, as well as the third hit looks like it actually took out a decent number of the Elder Royal Guard. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could say that was worth it because of the amount of friendly fire, but it definitely helped. Because we were able to thin out a lot of those Hiri Dirth, who are again, well, no, Cruz is again flanking around the flanks of these pikes. So I need to try to figure out how to stop that if I want my pikes to hold for any amount of time. Elder Royal Guard are starting to go down now. Nortino warriors have taken a couple casualties, it looks like. And Declan Gardner has brought forward some axe throwers. I believe he was trying to get them to throw their axes, but he was actually he brought them a little too far forward, so they actually did get stuck in melee. Crossbows still firing. And yes, now I am going to bring forward a unit of Ironfoot Ironfoot Warriors, my bad. And we'll look over here really quickly, because it looks like there's a little bit of fighting going on, but I assume this is just my unit of Ironfoot Warriors that I had to send out in order for the Elven players to actually get into the Citadel. Yes, you can see that looks like Lothlorien wants to be the first in. Some Sindar Blade Masters, followed by some archers, and yes, 2 units of Sword Quendi are fighting against my Ironfoot Warriors over here, who bravely decided to charge out in front of the gate in order to let the enemy in. Oh my. I am sorry about the kind of weird camera work. It's going to happen a bit just because of how awkward the settlement as it is at the moment. Actually, I am committing my Sins of the Fallen, and these guys actually really did not do as well as I had hoped they would. Ooh, Nortino Warriors taking some brutal crossbow fire. Still 58 Royal Guard, 57. But anyway, the Sins of the Fallen really did not do as well as I had hoped they would in this battle. I don't know if there's like a weird glitch going on, but you can see right now they're like not even fighting. They're just standing there getting sliced. So a few of them were fighting, but I don't know. It was a little strange. I probably would have been better off if I had just brought something like the Sons of Durin. Some Sindar Blade Masters of Kus are being brought forward. These guys will go down very quickly to crossbow fire. You can see they're already getting targeted right away. But if they are allowed to get in the melee, they will do incredibly well, especially against the cheaper stuff like the Ironfoot Axe Throwers and Ironfoot Warriors. Even though they aren't AP, they still can do pretty decently well. Also, you can see Reprise's second unit of Mithlond Nobles marching forward now. You can already see a lot of bodies right in front of that gate. Trying to get my catapult firing again, but unfortunately just missed. Ooh, and the crossbow is really targeting those Sindar Blade Masters who are going down very quickly. They're trying to push through the Sons of the Fallen, but the Sons of the Fallen in guard mode will not allow that to happen anytime soon. Looks like the Nortino Warriors are trying to get back in range, as well as the Catapult of Reprise. I believe I was actually trying to destroy it because it's about to fire. I don't think any of my catapults have been destroyed. No, okay. I wasn't too sure if any of them had been destroyed. See my Ironfoot crossbows right here still firing. Surprisingly, the elves were not really targeting our crossbows, which probably would have been the wiser move, but instead they decided to target like the halberds and the pikemen, which isn't necessarily bad, but I feel it probably would have been better had they decided to target the crossbows. You can see that my Sons of the Fallen are starting to buckle a little bit because of these Mithlond Nobles and Sindar Blade Masters, but they're not totally folding just yet, which is definitely good. More crossbow fire right here. Going straight into those Mithlond nobles, who, even though they are shielded, will fall relatively quickly to the crossbows. Let's see, there's 54 Sindar Blade Masters left, 63 Mithlond Nobles. There actually was still a surprising amount of Elder Royal Guard. I don't know if I just didn't see them, me and my ally, or if like just didn't care that they were firing, because they really weren't getting targeted after they had taken a few losses. Well, about half losses, really. Oh, my. Don't want to fall off that bridge. Okay, now it looks like there is a little bit of arrow fire going straight into my Ironfoot crossbows. So I will have to try to kill whoever... We'll have to try to skirmish down whatever is firing at them. I believe it's the Nortino warriors, who are now at 32. Yes. Sons of the Fallen are at 64. Again, getting pushed by these Sindar Blade Masters and Mithlond Nobles, however they are still holding strong. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it looks like there's actually some axes being thrown by these Ironfoot axe throwers right there. And the Mithlond Nobles and... No, Nortino warriors, sorry, and the Elder Royal Guard are trying to get in a little bit better of a position to fire their arrows. Yes, still some brutal arrow volleys right there. Oh, just taking out so many of those Nortino warriors right there. I was trying to remember. I feel like... Yeah, some Storm Guard are moving in. I was going to say, I thought for a second that for some reason there were like Sindar archers that had come over in this area, which is weird because, you know, it's like that's a Lothlorien unit. But, I don't know. Yeah, so the Storm Guard are now being committed. Sons of the Fallen are now down to 58, really getting cut down way faster than I had thought they would by the Mithlond Nobles and Sindar Blade Masters. Take a look over here again. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you can see that the elves have made their way into into Moria's gates on this side. Sword Quendi, Sylvan Spearmen, some Sylvan Heavy Archers, well, some Eldritch Archers are moving forward. We actually, yes, we had decided to let them in just so we could get our crossbows firing against them. You can see, got some Ironfoot Guard there blocking the path, Ironfoot Pikemen, Axe Throwers, and then over here you have some Khazad Warriors, Axemen of Erebor, and some Ironfoot Crossbows, who are already firing at these Sylvan Spearmen. Probably would have been a better target to go after. Yeah, he probably should have tried to fire at these Sylvan Archers or Elder Way Archers, but maybe he was just out of range. And he should probably move these Axemen of Erebor if he wants them to survive for any long amount of time, because they will go down really quickly to arrow fire. You can see Axiomatics Ironfoot Crossbows beginning to take some casualties. I actually have some Ironfoot, no, Axemen of Erebor right there as well. Ooh, taking some pretty horrendous arrow fire, actually. And also, the Elven Archers are AP, so they will really do a number on the Dwarven shotgun infantry units that are up there. Not to mention the crossbows. I might make that the thumbnail. That looked kind of cool with the fire arrows, not gonna lie. Oh, I actually have some Ironfoot crossbows right there. I did not notice that. That's rather surprising. Oh yeah, you can see these Ironfoot crossbows are really starting to take casualties. The extreme accuracy of the Elder Way Archers and the Sylvan Heavy Archers is beginning to take its toll on these poor Dwarven crossbows. I'm also retreating these Axemen of Erebor because I did not want them to get shot, obviously. And we'll take a look down here. Again, see what's going on. Crossbows, I assume, are still firing. Sons of the Fallen... Yeah, our main infantry line is starting to really thin out. You can see the Sons of the Fallen are really struggling again. Still doing a decent job, but really not getting as many kills as I'd hoped they would. Ironfoot Warriors are down to 37. And Hiri Dearth are being brought forward by Kus again, so we really need to put some more infantry forward. Actually, I take that back. I believe we're going to let them move in forward and make the next choke point battle be right here where these Khazad sentries are. Which, you know, isn't a bad idea necessarily. It's just, if we let them come in too far, then they are going to be able to get some of their archers working against our crossbows, which is definitely not something we want to happen. You can actually see that Kus is bringing forward some Elder Council as well. Ooh, yeah, the Elder Council are coming into range. That definitely does not bode well for the defenders. After this, I can't really say. I don't know quite yet if I'm going to make the next part of this series anytime super soon, just because I kind of want to wait until the rework, until 0.95 comes out, because that will include the rework of Rivendell. That's a really cool map. The reworked, the reforged version of it looks very, very cool. Also, I believe in 0.95, the Elven faction of Linden is coming into the patch, which I'm very excited for. Oh, those Elder Council getting absolutely murdered by the crossbows right there. However, not before they were able to fire quite a few two javelin volleys into these Khazad sentries. And you can also see that I have brought forward a unit of Axemen of Erebor to kind of help out my Sons of the Fallen and what's left of these Ironfoot warriors. Okay, so he is going to retreat his Elder Council now. His Elder Royal Council are still here, but again, they weren't really like targeting much, to be honest. They really don't have that much ammo, so maybe that's why. But it worked out fine for us because we didn't want to target them just yet. There were more important things to fire after, like this full health unit of Nortina warriors marching forward. Okay, yes, Declan Gardner is going to commit his Khazad sentries now, just as another unit of Heridir is being brought forward by Kus. I don't know if that's how you say it. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong, if you're watching this. Ooh. Actually, yes, I knew there was some Lothlorien troops that somehow made their way over here. There's some Sindar archers coming forward right now. Oh, that's why I remembered it. The Sindar archers, as they came forward, took a brutal javelin crossbow volley right there. Except there was also an unfortunate amount of friendly fire right there as well. You see, Ithilden actually had a lot of troops over here. He has the Sindar archers, Sylvan heavy swordsmen, and Sylvan heavy spearmen. Oh, taking out a lot of those spearmen right there. So, and swordsmen, geez. So Ithilden has had enough. He's going to retreat his forces right away. He does not want to take any more catapult fire, because that was absolutely brutal right there. Definitely not good for the attackers. However, again, you can see that our lines are beginning to thin. I actually had to commit another unit of Ironfoot warriors because my Ironfoot axemen were dropping pretty quickly. Kus is trying to put this shield wall unit of Heridirth right here to kind of shield the Nortina warriors and Elder Royal Guard, but it's not helping out too much, especially because I don't really quite know why people put things in shield walls when they want them to soak up arrow fire, because I mean that's kind of why loose formation is a thing, because it's harder to hit when you're like spread out. But I don't know, maybe there's a bonus when it's in shield wall, I don't know. Especially because crossbows take away the shield bonus, so it's really not going to help that much. Actually, yeah, a unit of Hiri Leng is also being brought forward by Kus. And some axes are being thrown by Declan Gardner's unit right here of axe throwers. Oh my goodness, just look at this blob of Ironfoot crossbows right here. Declan Gardner also has some Blacklock engineers. I think my Blacklock engineers are over here as well, but yeah, they're not firing quite yet. Oh yes, so this unit of Ironfoot crossbows is now out of ammo, so I'm just going to commit them right away. Anyway, they are nice because since they pull out axes when they are in melee, they are AP. Like pretty much everything in the Dwarven roster. Elder Royal Guard have been committed, but they are down to 29 now, so they're not going to do a huge amount of damage. However, they are AP, so they might do a little bit. Okay, over here, there's some blobbage of troops. These Ironfoot halberds are still holding back these Sylvan spearmen, as well as some sword Quendi. And the archers of Dark Elven King and Ithilden are really taking their toll on the Dwarven defenses. Right over here, you can see Axemen Robor actually have not been targeted yet, but you can see a lot of dead crossbows right there. Ooh, yeah, poor Axiomech, so many dead crossbows. That is definitely not good. Oh, just the insane accuracy of the Eldermite archers. You You will barely ever see an arrow not hit its target from the Elven archers. Even at this like weird angle. And that compared to the fact that they're also AP just makes them a really insanely good unit. Actually firing at the back of some of my Ironfoot Guard right there that I had unwisely left in the way of getting shot. Axiomatic's trying to bring forward this unit of Ironfoot Wargoats. Oh, I thought he was actually going after the archers, but no, he's actually just running straight through the backs of these sword quinty, which is definitely not a bad idea. He was also, I'm also going to just assume that he was trying to get after these archers, but they were stopped by this other unit of sword quinty. A lot of silver spears. So that, I believe, was maybe me. I have lost half of my men at this point. It could be my allies, though. It might be axiomatic. I don't know. So as it is really nothing important going on right here, I think I'll go ahead and take a look back over here where most of the action is taking place. I don't know where I am. Okay. Yes, there. Okay, go. Calm down. Jeez. Okay. So, Reprise has actually brought his catapult into Moria, trying to get it working against our forces. If he's able to fire at this blob of crossbows right here, it is going to be very, very good for the attackers. Oh, actually, yeah, he actually was able to do it, taking out a huge number of Declan Gardener's Ironfoot crossbows right there. I'm trying to get my catapult to fire at his, try to take him out, but not doing it with great success. I was able to take out a few of the elves right there, and actually destroy a catapult, but I believe I am close to running out of ammo with my catapult at this time. Oh, taking out another row of crossbowmen right there. Also, my two Sons of the Fallen, they're the only two that are left. I actually had run back because I wanted them to live. I don't know why I do that, but whenever there's like only like one or two, probably like less than 5 troops in the unit, I just run them back to the city center just because I want them to live. Elder Council again being brought forward. I feel like the Declan Gardener really needs to spread out his troops. I mean, just leaving his 2 units of crossbows here just like this is really going to submit them to really brutal missile volley. But for the main infantry fight right here, we actually are starting to win it again. There's just a few scattered remnants of units right here actually at the moment. Okay, the Elder Council are actually being committed in the melee. They must be out of ammo now. Ooh, a number of Hero Deer taken out by the catapult. Oh! Now there's only 1 catapult of the attackers left. As I said before, a lot of bodies already. The colorful capes of the elves are easily discernible amongst the dead. I don't know what that is up there. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what that is. I believe it's something with the settlement. Again, I said it's kind of an awkward settlement at the moment. But, you know, it's kind of cool. If you like long, choke pointy battles, that is. Ooh, a lot of that crossbows actually just getting skirmished down. Guess I didn't notice that. Again, bringing forward his crossbows, Declan Gardener. But yeah, I was actually rather surprised with the presence of these Elder Council, they were actually able to push through relatively quickly, actually, right here throughout we had. I mean, really we didn't have much. We just had some axe throwers, a few closet sentries, and some crossbows, but still, we are going to have to commit some more troops out here if we want to hold this area. Ironfoot crossbows are there, Blackhawk engineers, and a unit of halberds as well. I wonder where my other units of crossbows, because I brought 3 units of Ironfoot crossbows and 1 unit of the Blackhawk engineers, but I don't know where they are. I also have like 3 units of Ironfoot guard and like 5 units of Ironfoot warriors, so you can see I have brought down from wherever they were to go fight over here. But we'll take another look over here, because I don't... Yes, it looks like they have committed a little bit more infantry. They are finally starting to surround and destroy this 1 unit of Ironfoot halberds that has been fighting here forever. Some Sylvan Silver Spears are right here trying to get in and fight them as well. And 1 unit of Elven Archers is already out of ammo, which is definitely good for us, but Dark Elven King is also bringing forward his 2nd unit of Elven Archers. So definitely the attack over here is progressing much, much slower than the other area. But you can see that the elves probably are doing a little bit better on this area, I would say, just because they've taken out so many of Axiomatic's crossbows. Oh, and the Ironfoot Warghost getting another decent charge, just as the Sword Quendi are crossing the bridge of Khazad Doom right into these Shield Wall Khazad warriors who are defending the side of it. That man has short legs. He's kind of walking through the ground rather than on it. But hey, that's cool. Yeah, definitely a strong defense on that pathway up there. If the elves want to go through there, they're definitely going to have to try to soften it up first with arrow fire. And obviously this is the quickest path up there, but again, this path is also well guarded from the flanks. You see a lot of Ironfoot Guard, Erebor Infantry, Axemen of Erebor. So a lot of nasty Dwarven units are still alive. There's my two Sons of the Fallen. We'll take a look over here. I'm actually retreating my catapult a little bit because I believe they were kind of targeting it a little bit. Oh yes, look at this. The elves are really starting to push forward. Hiri Lang are actually trying to get around the flanks of these Khazad sentries, and Elder Council are doing the same, as well as some Elderway swordsmen and spearmen. So to try to stop this, Declan Gardeners also bring forward another unit of Ironfoot halberds. And oh, unfortunately for Reprise and Kus, pushing forward this quickly without any support is really submitting them to some brutal flanking fire from these crossbows right here. Actually see Declan Gardener's Blacklock Engineers being targeted by some Eldrinware archers, yes. Oh, you're going to see a lot of these Blacklock Engineers drop. I mean, they are dropping slowly because of their hit points, but still. And I saw this too. I did not want the same thing to happen to my Blacklock Engineers, so I did try to put them a little bit more like over here. But I definitely still wanted them to fire because they had an excellent position into the flanks of these units right here. Oh, poor Reprise's poor Eldrinway spearmen and archers are getting absolutely wrecked by these Ironfoot crossbows right here. But because we were not really able to push forward infantry quick enough, you're going to see a really big push right here from the Elven players. But those crossbows, they really, if they want to win this, they're going to have to try to silence those crossbows as soon as possible. I'm trying to get my catapult firing as well, taking out a few Nortino warriors, but unfortunately nothing else. Ooh, Kus' second unit of Elder Royal Guard are here as well. They're going to be able to do a great deal of damage. Oh, and this does not mean well for the Ironfoot warriors right here. Being outflanked by these Sindar Blade Masters is going to be sudden doom for these poor Ironfoot warriors. They're trying to push across, but they're just going to get really wrecked. Declan Gardener is actually committing his Blacklock Engineers, who must be out of ammo, to try to stop this hole right here. However, it is going to be pretty effective because the Blacklock Engineers are AP in melee, because they have their little hammers. The only bad thing about them is that, of course, they only have like 60-ish men in the unit when they're when they have full health, full strength. But you can see the Eldrainway units right here have really taken a lot of casualties from the crossbows. They were initially pushing through very quickly, but after the crossbow fire, they were really slowed down. Oh, Declan Gardener's crossbows getting targeted, and they are also actually getting, brought into melee by these three Sindar Blade Masters. I was really confused. I was like, wait, what? But no. Okay, so Declan Gardener has another unit of Khazad Sentries. Also, I am committing a unit of my Ironfoot Guard. Unlike the Ironfoot warriors, they are not AP, but they do have hit points and much higher attack and defense values. Not much, but decently higher. So I am going to try to use them to outflank these Sindar Blade Masters, who, as you can see, have just absolutely butchered this unit of Ironfoot warriors. You see these Elderway archers actually getting really quickly shot down by these crossbows. Again, I feel like this is a rather big mistake by the Elven players. They really were not targeting our crossbows that much, which led to a lot of casualties on the Elven part. They are targeting these Khazad sentries, which isn't a bad idea because they are, of course, they don't have shields, but still. Actually, it looks like they were targeting this unit of Ironfoot crossbows, so that's good. Oh, you can see those Elderway spearmen and Elderway swordsmen are really taking a lot of casualties right there. That unit of Elderway archers is completely destroyed. But there still is this unit of Elder Royal Guard. However, like I said before, they really do not have that much ammo, so they probably won't be able to fire for a whole lot longer. Ironfoot Guard are really struggling against these Sindar Blade Masters. Sindar Blade Masters in melee are really not to be trifled with, even with the heavily armored units of the dwarves. obviously their main weakness, like I said before, is the missile fire. You see a lot of my poor Ironfoot Guard are just getting dropped so quickly. I was really surprised by that. Yes, the Elder Royal Guard are actually now being committed. They are now out of ammo. And we'll take a look over here as well. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of bodies. Take a look back here, see what else they have. They still have quite a bit. There's still those random few units of Lothlorien troops. But they really don't have a whole ton left. I mean, they still have the Elder Royal Council. They still have a lot of their elites. But nothing super spectacular except for maybe the Elder Palace Guard and the Elder Royal Council. Over here, Declan Gardner and myself really don't have that much left either. My Black Lock Engineers are back in the fray as well. I am going to use them to fire at I don't know what. Just don't remember. Oh, there are actually still 2 members of the catapult crew. I believe they're firing at my catapults. Haven't taken one out yet, surprisingly, even though they're all 3 in like a line for some awkward reason that I don't know. Oh, yeah. I was so incredibly surprised by that the Cinder Blade Masters were able to take out my Ironfoot Guard so easily. I mean, my Ironfoot Guard was a completely healthy unit versus a rather depleted unit of Cinder Blade Masters, but even, I mean, like, it was just absolutely insane how quickly they were able to take out my Ironfoot Guard. It's definitely not helped by the fact that these Hiridirth are beginning to flank around my Ironfoot Guard. So we definitely need to commit more infantry over here if we wish to hold this position. Which is definitely obviously something we need to do, as there is a huge push from the Elven forces right here. You can see a lot more Eldrinway Spearmen and Eldrinway Swordsmen, as well as some Lothlorien troops. The very elite units like the Elder Palace Guard and the Elder Royal Council are being brought forward as well. Oh, catapults firing. And not hitting anything, unfortunately. You can see that the Eldrinway Swordsmen are actually just pushing straight through these Ironfoot Halberds right here and going straight into Declan Gardner's Ironfoot Crossbows. So we are trying to focus our crossbows on all these units right away because it's just absolutely insane on how big of a push they did right away. And it was definitely a very timely push because we did not really have that much left. I'm trying to recruit my Blacklock Engineers because they're being focused by those dang Elder Royal Council. But there are also some Eldrinway Swordsmen here flanking around. Oh, maybe a good catapult? Nope, I take it back. You can see our forces are really starting to thin. And here's where this is when things get messy because they've actually begun to push forward and we really don't have anything left. At this point, really, our plan was just to try to hold these 2 bridges. Again, like Moria always is, it's a very choke pointy battle. Cinder Blade Masters being committed and some more infantry being brought down by Declan Gardner. Also trying to get my catapult back into position. I also got a unit of crossbows up there in case they push super far forward. Let's take a look. Oh yes, the Sons of Durin of Declan Gardner are actually being committed as well. Actually, I don't know if they're being committed. I'm pretty sure they're just going to be put right here on the bridge. They will hold the bridge at all costs. Oh, that poor Ironfoot crossbowman. Oh, we can see a lot of the Elvish forces beginning to move forward now, just trying to push straight across these bridges, because they know, just like we did, that if we were able to hold these bridges, then it would make our job much easier, and theirs much harder. So they, of course, are trying to get past these bridges as quickly as possible. Airborne infantry is actually being brought forward to try to push through, actually getting a decent, halfway decent catapult hit right there. Oh, unfortunately I was not able to get into this blob of spearmen. Oh, wait. Nope, I take it back. Yeah, I wasn't. Ironfoot crossbows of Declan Gardner are getting butchered by the Elder Palace Guard and Silver Heavy Swordsmen. And the airborne infantry were able to get to this bridge in time in order to hold it. It looks like Declan Gardner is also bringing forward another unit of Ironfoot axe throwers. Oh, taking out a decent number of spearmen right there, actually. But I believe this is pretty much everything that the Woodland Realms and High Elves have at this point. They're actually committing, yeah, their generals units like the Elder Royal Council and the Smiths of Eregion. So outside, yeah, you'll see nothing except for this random couple units like the Sindar Archers and the Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen. But, let me see here. There are still a decent amount of crossbows left, not a whole lot, but still a decent amount. The Clan Gardeners bring forward some Ironfoot warriors as well as some more airborne infantry. And I'm bringing down my Ironfoot crossbowmen to try to get them into a nice position to fire into into these Sindar Blade Masters right here, because obviously they will get shot down very easily. And we'll look over here, because I think there's some more infantry. Yes, there's a lot of infantry fighting actually right now. You can see some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen fighting against these Khazad warriors who are holding the bridge. And you can see both units of Elven archers are right here fighting against some of my own Ironfoot warriors. Really not a whole lot of headway has been made, though. Definitely it's not helped by the fact that my crossbows are firing straight to into the flanks of these Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen. So, again, just like the other side, they really need to try to target our crossbows. Nolder Elder Nobles, yeah, just a lot of infantry, really. Oh my goodness. I don't know why every time I try to record videos, there's people doing things in the background. Right now, someone is actually not mowing, vacuuming. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause it because I don't know if you can hear it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause this video. I'll be right back as soon as they're done mowing. I do apologize for that. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that again. If it happens again, I'll just pause it again. But I'm just going to play it. Anyway, so anyway, you can see that I have to commit my catapult crew because it's out of ammo. I've got Clan Gardener has some Ironfoot warriors over here as well as some airborne infantry. He's also got crossbows, more axe throwers, and more airborne infantry. He also has this unit of 63 Sons of Durin who are holding this bridge against the Elven Swordsmen and Hiri Dirith. The Sons of Durin will be able to take out a lot of these troops right away. Okay then. It's they're leaf blowing again, so I'm just gonna pause it. I'll be back. Sorry. Okay, I'm finally back. I mean, it's just been so long. I'm just kind of annoyed by now, so I'm just gonna play it anyway. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue anyway. But see, I can see that the Clan Gardener still has one very healthy unit of airborne infantry just waiting here, backing up the Sons of Durin. There's also another unit back there. He also has Ironfoot warriors, and I also have some Ironfoot warriors back here as well. And you can also see that I'm going to begin moving forward my completely healthy unit of Ironfoot crossbows. I believe this is my last unit of crossbows, but it does have, I'm pretty sure, all of its ammo. My Blacklock engineers have taken some pretty nasty casualties, but they still are relatively healthy with a little bit of ammo, I believe. And okay, you can see some Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen begin to march forward. But so far, we've kind of taken things back. We are kind of taking it because we were pushed really hard. We were pushed all the way outside of there. But we were able to set up a nice defense right here on these two bridges. And I'm going to fire my crossbows, I believe, at these Sindar Blade Masters and the general unit of the Smiths of Eregion over here. We'll just take a look really quickly just to be sure. Oh no, I take it back. I was completely wrong. I actually decided to fire at those Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen. You can see are dropping insanely fast because of that crossbow volley. The Ironfoot crossbows are incredibly deadly. Sons of the Durin are starting to drop a little quickly. The Clan Gardener is not going to commit that unit of airborne infantry quite yet. My catapult is out of ammo, so I have committed the crew. Axe throwers are still firing, and I believe the fight over here is still just going on very slowly, mainly just with the it's mostly just like skirmishing that's going on right there. So we'll just watch this for a little bit longer. Yes, geez, there are so many crossbows in this battle, and they are definitely taking their toll on the Elvish forces. Ooh, it looks like I actually got an unfortunate amount of friendly fire on these Sons of Durin. That's not good. Oh, now the crossbows are targeting these poor Sylvan Heavy spearmen who were not committed, and so are going to get absolutely butchered by the crossbows. Oh yes, that actually is my unit of crossbows. Oh, those poor spearmen. I believe now I might fire at these Mins of Region and Sindar Blade Masters. I don't know. I might fire at these guys right here, these Elven spearmen. Okay, yes, I am firing actually at these Sindar Blade Masters who are going to just drop insanely fast just because they don't have shields. I mean, they do have relatively high defense values, but they don't have a shield or hit points, so they are going to drop pretty quickly. And the same is going to happen for the Smiths of Region, who, even though they do have shields and have hit points, the shield bonus is taken away by the crossbows. So crossbows are, of course, very, very deadly. Reprise is trying to get his Cinderblade Masters out of there, but unfortunately for him, the damage is pretty much done at this time. His unit is already down to half strength. Looks like they might be in this formation. No, he's just going to commit them anyway. But they are pretty low in numbers now. Well, they're still at half strength, I guess, but still. He's going to commit them over here, as well as some of his other remnants of troops. Oh, some more brutal crossbow fire right there. I believe I might fire at the Smiths of a Region now, though. We'll take a look at them, just in case. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. This battle, like I did say, it was a while ago, so I don't remember too great. I am firing at him now, though. We'll take a look over here, and then we'll come back to those Smiths and the main fight. Because right here, yeah, it's still progressing just very, very slowly. The elves really haven't made too much headway. Axiomatic has committed these Axemen of Erebor to hold this bridge now. Over here, our forces are starting to thin, but I'm just going to hold my troops there, because if I do, then it will allow my crossbows more time to fire. However, you will see that I actually did have to retreat my crossbows, because a lot of them were getting shot down. You can see the same thing has happened to these Khazad Orc Hunters, but there still are 49 of my crossbowmen right here. And we'll look over here again. My Blackhawk Engineers are now firing. I believe that these Smiths of a Region are now being targeted by like 3-4 units of crossbows all at the same time, including Blackhawk Engineers. So they're just getting absolutely murdered right now. He's not careful, he's definitely going to lose his general, which is going to be another heavy, heavy loss for the elves. Oh, I really also wanted to try to target these Elder Palace Guard and Elder Royal Council, but I believe I'm not able to because they're a little too far away and they are very nicely hiding behind these little crevices. Which was, of course, good for the Elven player. But the High Elves on this side yeah, he's pretty much dead at this point, except for this unit of Elder Runaway Spearmen and what's left of his Smiths. Over here, the bridge has held. There are still 2 Sons of Durin. And we're able to take out all the enemies right here with the help of the crossbows. And over here, the enemies are again starting to thin out very quickly. Only 21 Sindar Blade Masters, a few Sylvan Heavy Swordsmen, and a few Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. Actually a couple of Elder Runaway Swordsmen right there as well. Surprising. Okay, Declan Gardener is moving forward with some Iron Axe Throwers. To stop the advance of these Elder Runaway Spearmen. But again, it's still we definitely have to be careful over here. The Dwarven defenders do, just because these 2 units right here, the Elder Royal Council and Elder Palace Guard, are of course completely healthy, so they will be able to do a great deal of damage if they are allowed to get in melee. The only reason he's not using these guys actually as archers right now is because he actually brought more than the limit, so he said he wouldn't use these guys as archers, which of course is very nice of him. It's very courteous of him. Because, yeah, he actually did bring 1 more archer than was allowed for the attackers. Where are these Smiths? They're right here. Okay, actually, yeah. But the Sindar archers, or what's left of them anyway, of Ithildan, are being brought forward. However, I assume they're just going to get crossbowed relatively quickly. I don't know, of course. But yes, Kus is going to bring forward his woodland, his Palros Guard and his Elder Royal Council as well. The Sindar archers are trying to get into position. They are, in fact, reloading right now. But so are my Ironfoot crossbows. The Sindar archers getting their volley off first. No surprise there. Right into the Ironfoot crossbows of Declan Gardener, who returns fire with interest. Ooh, look at that. There's also some Blackhawk Engineers firing, it looks like, maybe. Oh, oof. Oh, man. And those Sindar archers are just dropping. Anyway, over here, he committed his Elder Palace Guard on this flank, and he committed his Elder Royal Council on the other. Oh yeah, those poor Sindar archers are just getting absolutely shredded right now. But I feel like there was a little bit of really not the best coordination between the 4 attackers in this battle, because obviously over on the other side, it's still just kind of like a really long skirmish phase that's happening. So I feel like if they had attacked maybe at the same time, like, well, pushed at the same time really hard, I feel like they probably would have done a little bit better. I mean, obviously there still are a lot of High Elven and Lothlorien forces over here, but still, the Elven forces over here are really starting to thin. But then again, so are the Dwarves. We don't really have much left. We really just have a lot of crossbows. Declan Gardener actually still has a decent amount of infantry left, though. I think I still have one healthy unit of Ironfoot Warriors over there as well. And there go the last 3 of the Sindar Archers. So, I am going to use my crossbows now to target the very more expensive Elder Palace Guard or the Elder Royal Council, who, as you can see, are really starting to cut through the Dwarven lines. Really beginning to thin out right here, you can see. The Ironfoot Warriors of Declan Gardener are kind of just pushing straight through in shield wall. Don't know quite how effective that is, but you know. But yeah, since this is definitely the area where we're starting to look the weakest, of course, this is where I'm targeting my crossbow fire. And I am also going to commit this unit of Ironfoot Warriors over here as well. Oh, look at that. Because the crossbow fire of the Elder Royal Council went from like 92 to 74 right away. Still 62 Palace Guard, they've only lost to 1 troop. My Blacklock Engineers are also firing. Well, moving back, they were firing. Oh yeah, that brutal crossbow volley right into the flanks of this Elder Royal Council. And I'll look over here again, just to see what's going on. These Sylvan Axemen are beginning to push forward a little bit more. And over here, there are still just more troops. And there goes the general due to the crossbow fire of one of my units. A lot of Dwarven infantry still left up there. Some crossbows, axe throwers, Ironfoot Guard, pikemen. But over here you can see there still is a decent amount of, well, more than a decent amount of Elvish troops over here. 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters, Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, Sylvan Axemen. Nolder Elder Nobles, who are of course very deadly. However, I believe they are out of ammo. They may have been firing at the crossbows up there. And back here, he still has a decent amount of troops as well. Actually, has some pretty elite things. Still 3 units of Eldernoise Swordsmen, some more Sylvan Axemen, False Lord, Smiths of Eregion, and 2 units of Luscious Guards, as well as some Galadrim Veteran Warriors, who don't have that much ammo, but are of course very deadly in melee. Oh my goodness, come on, let me go through. Thank you. I really wanted to get my crossbows down here to fire at these Sindar Blade Masters, but luckily for me, Axiomatic was thinking the same thing, and because he had a little bit better of a position to fire his crossbows, was able to do it to much greater effect than I was. Axiomatic is actually committing his unit of airborne infantry over here to the bridge as well. And we'll take another look over here because I believe it is starting to, the fight over here is beginning to kind of wrap up. You can see what's left of these Smiths of Region being committed, and the Elder Council have been cut down. There is still a very, very large amount of Palace Guard left. There's still 55 Palace Guard and a few Eldernoise Spearmen. And the Elder Palace Guard will be able to, even though they are somewhat bloodied up now, they will be able to cut their way through the airborne infantry. Not super easily, but they will be able to do it, given enough time. The Smiths of Region just not getting any breaks from the crossbows. Now getting targeted again. Let's take a look over here. Oh yeah, those poor Smiths. Crossbows are still trying to, crossbows are also trying to target this area, of course, because the Elder Palace Guard are so incredibly deadly in melee. We want to target them as quickly as possible. And there goes the general of the High Elves, well, one of the High Elven armies, being taken out again by a crossbow. Well, not again. Can't be killed twice. But unfortunately, my this unit of Ironfoot crossbowmen had run out of ammo at the time, so I did have to actually commit them against these Elder Palace Guard. Which is, you know, they won't be able to get too much done, but they will be able to at least support these airborne infantry who are kind of just like standing around getting sliced, but you know, whatever, I guess. It's slightly strange, very similar to what happened with my Sons of Durin, I guess. I don't know quite what was going on there. But over here, we've pretty much won on this side. I am going to bring this unit of Ironfoot Warriors around here to try to cycle charge with these Elder Palace Guard, which actually worked a lot better than I thought it would, seeing as they're an infantry unit, but, you know, the charge bonus of the Dwarves is very, very large. Oh my goodness, calm down, please. No, go over. I want to watch the Sindar Blade Masters, yeah. Ooh, a lot of those Sindar Blade Masters going down. Still a decent amount of infantry over here, though. Ooh, now the Elven swordsmen that were committed by a Dark Elven King are getting just absolutely butchered by crossbow fire. Definitely not a good sight for the elves. You never want your elite units like that to get crossbowed in the flanks. Especially because this is, of course, a non-shielded unit that really thrives in melee but is very weak to missile fire. A large amount of bodies, though, geez. A lot of dead on this bridge. The Khazad-dûm Reclaimers of Axiomatic must have run out of axes as well, because they're just kind of standing there. But they, of course, are also very, very good in melee with their two-handed axes. Actually, some infantry, some Ironfoot pikemen of Axiomatic being brought down here as well. And to stop them from flanking the troops on the bridge, Ithilden is going to commit this unit of Sylvan Axemen against them. We'll look over here again. Oh my. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, you can see my Ironfoot warriors are just sitting here, just taking a little bit of a break after cycle charging. The Elder Palace Guard are still at 46. The airborne infantry are really dropping very fast. Same with my Ironfoot crossbows. And unfortunately, my Blacklock engineers were also out of ammo, so we were forced to try to take out these Elder Palace Guard the hard way, which is just by killing them in melee, which is definitely in favor of the Elder Palace Guard. It also is not helped by the fact that we can't really surround them to great effect just because they are kind of on this bridge. So that was rather unfortunate. But I'm sure Koos was happy about it because it did allow him to rack up quite a few kills for his Elder Palace Guard. Which of course is good because they're a very expensive unit. I believe like 1,850 florins, and the Elder Royal Council are like 1,750 florins. So very, very expensive units right there. So yeah, I am going to try to get this charge bonus off though. We'll see if it see how many guys it kills. So there's 45 Palace Guard right now, and after getting charged in the back by the Ironfoot warriors, they are at 44, 43. So they took a couple. No, they took 3 losses. So definitely not bad. And thinking back, it probably would have been better if I just left these guys to fight against the or left the Ironfoot warriors to fight against the Palace Guard, but I don't for some reason. I just keep trying to cycle charge. I wasn't really very wise of me, but that's what I did. Actually, the Wargoats, Hammers of Gundabad, and the Dragon Slayers of Ered Mithrin have been brought down as well. This is actually the general unit of Declan Gardner. Very, very cool looking. I really do like the look of the Dragon Slayers. They look very nice. Declan Gardner is actually retreating his crossbows because I believe he's bringing them over to the other front, the other battle line, just to kind of help out the Dwarven forces on that side. At this point, I really don't have much left. I think I have like just some random stuff, really, like maybe a couple units of Ironfoot Guard, maybe 1 unit of Axemen of Erebor, and then that 1 unit of like 49 crossbows, besides the troops over there that were actually fighting, of course. Because over here I had taken a lot of losses, and of course I was fighting a lot over there with Declan Gardner. You can see that the dwarves have retaken this bridge. He's retreating his airborne infantry, but pushing for his Khazad-dûm Reclaimers. Woodland Warriors are being crossbowed to death, as well as the Sindar Blade Masters. And the Ironfoot Pikemen are still holding strong against those Sylvan Axemen who were committed against them quite a long time ago. Let me see here. Yeah, Dark Elven King actually still has a decent amount left, but yeah, I definitely don't blame him for not like wanting to charge in because we had so many crossbows. I mean, we didn't have that many left at this time, but we still had a decent amount left that would definitely take a great toll on his shock infantry units that he has left, like the Elven Swordsmen and Imladris Guards. The Woodland Warriors are really no match for these Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, especially because of the fact that there are some Ironfoot crossbowmen up there firing down to help out these Khazad-dûm Reclaimers. So you will see these Woodland Warriors drop very quickly. Over here, though, the Sylvan Axemen and Cinder Blade Masters will do decently well against these pikemen, but not great. Probably the Sylvan Axemen will do a little bit better just because they are AP. Even though, like you saw before, the Sindar Blade Masters were really butchering my Ironfoot Guard. So they definitely should not be underestimated by any means just because they don't have AP. What do we have up here? So my unit of Ironfoot Guard, that depleted unit of crossbows, some Ironfoot Axe Throwers, another unit of Ironfoot Pikemen, and I have my unit of Axemen of Erebor up here as well. And it looks like the general unit of Axemen of Axiomatic is also up here, which is, of course, the Mithril Guard. So we'll take kind of a last look maybe over here. Declan Gardner still marching his troops back there to help out the other side. And over here, you can see that the Elder Palace Guard have absolutely butchered all the crossbows, all the airborne infantry right here, and are now, well, not all the crossbows, there's still 23 of them left, and are now turning to butcher what's left of my Ironfoot warriors. I was rather annoyed, kind of, that Declan Gardner and Axiomatic weren't, or no, just Declan Gardner, wasn't like, kind of like helping me out here, you know, like maybe committing these Dragon Slayers of Ered Mithrin, as well as the Hammers of Gundabad, but they weren't, but it was okay, I guess. It was okay. Maybe. So yeah, my poor Ironfoot warriors are going to get butchered. But these Ironfoot crossbows were able to get a decent charge off on these Elder Palace Guard. So that's always nice. Taking out a few of them right there actually on the charge. Ooh, jeez, those Elder Palace Guard are still incredibly powerful. And of course, these are relatively cheap units, so. Oh, would not want to be one of those Dwarven crossbows or Ironfoot warriors. Axiomatic was actually trying to charge these Elder Palace Guard with his War Goats, but it didn't work out super great. It worked out okay, I guess, but not incredibly great. Because there just like wasn't really enough room to get a decent charge off. And so he's kind of just like walking into them rather than like charging. But again, it is like a siege, so. Oh, you can see those Ironfoot War Goats just getting cut down by the Elder Palace Guard. I don't know if the Palace Guard actually have a bonus against cavalry. They do have like kind of like glaive spear things, so maybe they do. I don't know. Oh my. There are 2 Ironfoot crossbows left now. Oh, and those Wargos are just absolutely getting cut down by the Palace Guard, who are still at 20. I guess I'll take a look back over here again. A lot of dead crossbowmen there, right there. Wow. Ooh, I had a lot of dead Axemen of Erebor as well. Sindar Blade Masters will obviously are faring a lot better against these Khazad-dûm Reclaimers than the Woodland Warriors. Still Sylvan Heavy Spearmen are up there, and over here the Pikemen have 1 against their enemies. But yeah, I really feel that the Elven players just needed to coordinate their attacks a little bit better. I mean, obviously you can tell that there is still a decent amount of Lothlorien and High Elven troops right here. I feel like they probably should have just done a full-out charge at the same time as the Woodland Realms and the other High Elven army if they wanted to get more kills. Because obviously, I mean, like, the Dwarves don't have a lot left. It still could go. It's still pretty close. I mean, what's the percentage? 74 to 81? I mean, 7% really isn't that much, so. Eldronway Swordsman going to help out the Sindar Blade Masters against these Khazad-dûm Reclaimers. However, because another healthy unit of the non-shielded infantry of the elves is being brought forward, Axiomatic is going to take advantage of this and fire his crossbows right at those Eldronway Swordsmen. Another unit of Sylvan Axemen, looks like, is also going to fight against these Ironfoot Pikemen. Oh my goodness, that crossbow fire. Interesting. I don't know where my... Maybe that is my last unit of Ironfoot Guard. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's not good for the Elven players right here. Just standing here, trying to get across the bridge, but those crossbows are really taking their toll on them. Jeez. Oh, that is just brutal. They're still, the Elven Way swordsmen are actually still at 83 though, so not terrible. We'll look over here again. We have the one Ironfoot warrior and the one Ironfoot crossbowman just sitting in this corner, talking to each other, not looking at each other, but you know, just kind of talking to each other maybe, because they were the only survivors of the ones that of those two units that had attacked these Elder Palace Guard. So they're just chilling in the corner. Luckily, they were not noticed by Koos, so they were allowed to live for the time being anyway. Oh my goodness, just so many dead elves and dwarves right here. It's very, very sad indeed for the free peoples of Middle-earth. One brave Elder Runway Spearman charging straight into those Dragon Slayers of Ered Mithrin and getting cut down almost instantaneously without getting a kill. So now it's just kind of a standoff. I mean, I really didn't have anything to commit against these Elder Palace Guard except for my General's unit, which obviously I did not want to commit because he might die. So I was kind of wanting Declan Gardner to just charge at these Elder Palace Guard, but you know, that's okay. I mean, it's not a huge threat. There's only 20 of them. But we'll take a look over here. Oh yeah, I've got my Ironfoot crossbows over here. I was going to bring them all the way around here to try to shoot those Elder Palace Guard, but I decided actually not to because, well, you'll see why in just a second here, because the elves actually do commit a lot of their infantry here, so I did think it was probably better to commit them over here. Actually, I don't remember. I could be completely lying about that. Oh, so many crossbows. Declan Gardner's crossbows have made it all the way across. Ironfoot. Okay, I still do have 2 units of Ironfoot Guard. Cool. What may I say here? 3 airborne infantry. My 2 Sons of the Fallen, still sitting in the city center. Okay, yeah. So the Elder Palace Guard are just charging up against these Dragon Slayers. The Dragon Slayers will take a few casualties, but obviously they are cutting down the Elder Palace Guard relatively quickly. There are only 2 of them left now. There's my crossbows. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Never mind. I was going to bring them down here to shoot the Elder Palace Guard, but I believe he like tries to chase him down, so I had to like run him away really quickly. So not super great, but you know. And this was rather surprising to me. I don't know why he actually retreated his Dragon Slayers instead of just trying to deal with what was left of these Elder Palace Guard. And essentially it was what happened because I thought he was going to keep fighting and I could flank around with these Blacklock Engineers. I left my General's unit right here. So the Elder Palace Guard moved to my Blacklock Engineers, who are really no match for the Palace Guard in the melee. So I was trying to kind of run them away, but didn't really work out that well. I was kind of annoyed at this point that Declan Gardner wouldn't just commit his Dragon Slayers, but you know, it's fine. Because, like I said before, this is pretty much the only thing they have left, so it's not like, well, yeah, I don't know. Trying to get a charge bonus right there, which actually worked. It took out 2 of the Elder Palace Guard. But again, I only have 37 Blacklock Engineers who, if I leave them in melee, will get absolutely just destroyed by these Elder Palace Guard. You can see already they're down to 32. Definitely not great. Okay, there we go. Trying to get my crossbows to fire. They did get off 1 volley, taking out a few of those Palace Guard. We'll look over here. Oh, no. Nope, I don't want to fall in that pit. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, so some crossbows right there. Oh, a lot of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen right there as well, actually. And I actually did commit my Ironfoot Guard right here because the Ironfoot Pikemen had been completely taken out. Or maybe they just retreated. No, they had been taken out. So I did have to commit this unit of Ironfoot Guard here. We will be able to do reasonably well against the Sylvan Heavy Spearmen, though. Because Spearmen aren't great at the moment, especially not at attacking, because that's, like, kind of not what spears are meant to do. But, you know. So, as the battle again progresses very slowly, we will go ahead and look over here. Glenn Gardner is going to commit his Dragon Slayers now. He's going to help out my general's unit, which is definitely a very timely thing. It was very timely because I only had 11 Blackhawk Engineers left, and you can see my general just getting beat down right there by 2 of the Palace Guard. So if he, yeah, he was, I think, maybe not killed right here. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to run him away and let the Dragon Slayers deal with them, but I don't know if my general's gonna live. Oh, oh God, run! Run! Oh, no, no, oh no. Oh, come on, just keep running. Just run. Run for your life. Run in your little short legs with your pink armor. No, his armor looks cool. But yeah, there we go. So the Dragon Slayers are going to cut down the rest of these Elder Palace Guard without too much trouble. I was trying to get my crossbows around to kind of help out these Dragon Slayers, but unfortunately, because the Palace Guard are kind of to a wall, I was unable to do so. So I think we'll just go ahead and speed this up a little bit because nothing exciting is happening over on the other side either, so we'll just watch the last scene of these Elder Palace Guard really quickly, and then we'll go back over there to the other side. Only 3 Elder Palace Guard left, 2. 1 and none. There we go. And that is it for the Woodland Realms. So I am going to bring my Iron for Crossbowmen all the way back to the other side of Moria to help out on this side. And as you can see, a lot more has been committed since last we checked. Another unit of Elven Swordsmen from Dark Elven King and Ithilden's Galadrim Veteran Warriors who are out of MR are also being committed, as well as another unit of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. This may be, yes, this is his general unit. So, yes. I don't know what I was going to say, I'm sorry. Some Axemen of Erebor. My Ironfoot Guard are still fighting strong. You can see that they actually were able to take out the spearmen that were here, as well as what was left of those Sylvan axes, but these Galadrim Veteran Warriors are incredibly good in melee, so they will be able to cut down my Ironfoot Guard relatively quickly. Which is why Axiomatic has brought this unit of axe throwers here to try to help out my Ironfoot Guard, as well as his own unit right here that he is going to commit. You can see he's actually bringing down his own general's unit right there. The Mithril Guard is still completely healthy. And the percentage is starting to get a little bit away from the elves. It's nearing 10%. So again, this is kind of like the bad thing about this map is it does get rather boring towards the beginning, well, and the end, I guess, just because it is a massive choke point battle pretty much the entire time. You can see crossbows and Ironfoot axe throwers firing at these Galadrim Veteran Warriors, which is definitely good because you can see my Ironfoot Guard are already down to 77. Nothing here though is being committed in the infantry fight to help him, but it's fine, doesn't matter. Because we are starting to win pretty handily. You can see it's within 9%. I mean, it's still only 9%. The elves do have a decent amount of elites left, like the Noldor Elder Nobles, Imladder Guards, Smiths, and False Lords, but still, there's not a lot of numbers really left for the elves. Oh my. Come on. Go through the gate. Thank you. I think I'll just speed this up at least to 2 times, just to kind of make this a little bit quicker. I've been uploading a lot of like hour-and-a-half long videos, which I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I'm just gonna kind of speed it up a little bit, just for now. Mithril Guard are being committed now against these Galadrim Veteran Warriors. Mithril Guard will be able to do very well against these Galadrim Veteran Warriors. Axiomatic is actually retreating his Axemen of Erebor, which I thought was rather surprising, but he does have more troops right here, right behind. Yeah, he's actually going to commit his Hammers of Gundabad instead. Oh, now the axes are targeting these Elder and my swordsmen. Still a decent amount of dwarves left, but still a lot of dead. I mean, it's still the dwarves still have 79% of their troops dead. So it's not like it was a one-sided battle. Oh, the flanking axes of those axe throwers just absolutely butchering those Elven Way swordsmen. And here comes a very healthy unit of Sindar Blade Masters from Dark Elven King. It looks like this is going to be kind of the final push. Yeah, 2 units of Sindar Blade Masters from Dark Elven King, 2 units of Imladris Stormguard. No, not Stormguard, Imladris Guards. Also looks like the last of Ithilden's troops, which is just his general's unit of Sylvan Heavy Spearmen. So it does look like this is kind of the final push for the elves. There still is this completely healthy unit of older Elder Nobles, though. They're, of course, very deadly in melee. And the axes are still being thrown, this time it looks like at the Sindar Blade Masters. Maybe the Imladris Guards as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you would like to see that Dale battle. Even though it's not very close, again, obviously I'm not going to say which team won, in case I do upload it. But the team that won had like 34% of their army still remaining. It was a 3 versus 5, 3 Dalish armies versus 5 Misty Mountains armies. So just go ahead and put down in the comments if you would like to see that, even though it was not necessarily very close. Oh, the Sindar Blade Masters just really not catching any breaks from those axe throwers. Galadrim Veteran Warriors down to 19. My own Ironfoot Guard at 60. And the Mithril Guard at 59. And yes, it looks like Axiomatic is bringing forward some pikemen as well as maybe just his pikemen to kind of support his Mithril Guard right here. They would be able to do fine probably on their own, but you still want to support your elites as much as you can. Hammers of Gundabad still fighting strong here against the Sindar Blade Masters. Another unit of Axemen of Erebor. And over here, Dark Elven King has kind of set up a last stand kind of thing with his Imladris Guards, False Lords, and older Elder Nobles, and the like. He also is committing actually his Smiths of Eregion, probably down here to fight these Hammers of Gundabad. Oh, crossbow fire. Right into those smiths and axes. Yes, he is going to charge them down right into those Hammers of Gundabad. They actually will be able to do reasonably well against the Hammers of Gundabad, as long as they're not getting crossbowed to death anyway. And there goes the Lorien general. So now the only general left standing of the elves is Dark Elven Kings. I think all the Dwarven generals are actually still alive at this point. You can see that Axiomatic has actually retreated his Mithril Guard. He doesn't want to risk his general's life. Not here. Not so close to the end of the battle. You can see I actually have a unit of Axemen of Erebor over here as well as some Ironfoot Guard, maybe? And there are, of course, the pikemen from Axiomatic as well. And the axe throwers. Some more Dwarven forces being brought down. But yeah, it was definitely a fun battle to play. Like I said before, this is kind of an old replay, so that's kind of why I had like the kind of weird commentary, because that's why I was wrong about a lot of things, because it was a decently long time ago. But yeah, it was still a fun one. I like to commentate. If you have any good close replays, just go ahead and send them to me if you want to. Hammers of Gundabad really taking a lot of casualties from these Smiths of Eregion, which is not surprising because the Smiths of Eregion are, of course, very elite, and they are one of the only, if only, yeah, maybe they might be the only AP in melee unit that the High Elves actually have to offer at the current time. Ooh, getting crossbowed right in the back by my Ironfoot crossbows. Besides maybe the Nolder Elder Nobles, I think they might actually be AP in melee. Maybe the Imladris Guards as well, the pikeman unit, but I don't know. Wait, now the False Lords are going to be getting targeted by the crossbows. in just a bit here. You'll see. Ooh, right after the Smiths of Region. Oh man, I really do feel bad for the elves just getting crossbowed to death. And over here, it looks like some wavering troops. Yeah, Lothlorien is pretty much gone at this point. I believe it might be totally gone. Yeah. Yeah, Lothlorien is dead. And now all that's left is the one High Elven army of Dark Elven King. Which, what is left of it is just getting currently crossbowed to death. Which is rather unfortunate. It's really annoying when you're attacking or defending, and then the last of your troops just get crossbowed to death. Oh yeah, just getting crossbowed from all angles. Luckily, you can see that the Phallus Lords are, you know, a bit more durable than the Smiths of Region. I believe they have maybe a few more hit points and probably higher defense values. But still, nothing's going to last super long against multiple units of Dwarven crossbows. You can see the Dwarven infantry is starting to try to flank around. There's some Dragon Slayers there, and the Imladris Guards. Both units are being committed, as well as the Nolder Elder Nobles. Really do like the look of the Imladris Guards and the Imladris Storm Guards. They look very cool. I usually don't bring the Imladris Guards just because they are 1,400 florins each. And I don't really bring the Imladris Storm Guards either, like I said before, just because for some reason they never do that great. Despite their relatively nice attack and defense values. I don't know, maybe I was just committing them against the wrong things. Phallus Lords still at 40. Maybe at like 54,000, I will just speed it up totally, because obviously you can tell that it's really not likely that the elves are going to win. This is most likely going to be a victory for the Dwarven forces. So actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to speed it up totally. But yeah, so it was definitely a very valiant effort by the elves trying to besiege Moria, but unfortunately they were unable to take it. They just got themselves a lot of dead elves, but again they were able to kill a lot of enemies as well. Again, I probably won't do the fourth part in this until 0.95 comes out, which I don't know when that is, just because I would like to play as Lyndon in the new Rivendell probably for the next one. But yeah, this one is a fun battle. It's a cool series. I like it. Now it looks like all that's left is just these. Oh, the Dragon Slayers actually took a lot of casualties. Jeez. Oh, I believe that was Declan Gardner's general actually going down. The Dragon Slayers. I was surprised on how quickly they were taken out. There's still well, there are only a few scattered elder nobles left. Only the one left, and he is still fighting strong. And there he goes. So yeah, that is it. Looks like it was 75 to 100%, so within 25%, not super close, but still. I was able to get myself the most kills, 2,634. Not far behind me was Declan Gardner, and then not far behind him was Axiomatic. The most kills for the elves went to Koos, getting 2,100, and behind him was Dark Elven King, getting 1,400. We'll take a quick look at the exact casualties. Obviously, my crossbows did the best. This unit getting 649, 375, 474, and 205. My infantry did okay, I guess. Not super great. These Ironfoot Warriors did decently well. Declan Gardner, looks like a lot of his kills again were from the crossbows. Decent amount, yeah, a lot of kills actually for his axe throwers as well. And again, it's just the missile troops that got a lot of kills. His crossbows actually got 852 kills, which is I believe the most kills out of all the teams. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it was a very fun battle indeed. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you didn't, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it in the next video. I did try to bump up the microphone volume. I hope you did notice. I don't know. It's kind of a weird issue. I've tried a lot of different things to fix it. I just hope this time it actually worked. And so anyway, farewell wherever you fare, till your eyries receive you at your journey's end.